Throughout the novel, the monster Frankenstein created is constantly alienated by society. He is ugly and different from all the others around him, leading everyone to fear him. As the book continues, the monster attempts to reveal himself to different people, such as the DeLacy family, William, and the little girl he tried to save from drowning, in hopes of being accepted by them. However, he is shunned and violently turned away. Society cannot look past his threatening stature and grotesque appearance, and therefore does the one thing they can do, which is alienate him. The book shows how society is not understanding of others or open-minded, and jumps to conclusions based on looks and rejects those that appear different from the majority.
When I looked around, and I saw and heard of none like me, was I the monster, a blot upon the earth from which all men fled, and whom all men disowned? This quote is said by the monster when he overhears what he thinks is Felix giving Sophie a history lesson. The monster overhears them reading a book about man being powerful because he is rich, has friends, and owns a lot of property. When the monster realizes that he is none of these things, he realizes just how unhuman he really is and starts to feel pity for himself for not being a normal human. In the 21st century, when people start to realize they're different from everyone else, they start to feel bad for themselves, which turns into forms of aggression like killing others or self-harm. I am an unfortunate and deserted creature. I look around, and I have no relation or friend upon earth. These amiable people to whom I go have never seen and know little of me. I am full of fears, for if I fail there, I am an outcast in the world forever. This quote, also said by the monster, is when the monster goes to talk to the blind man for the first time alone, so no one else can see him and be scared of his appearance. The monster is telling the blind man his feelings and realizations about society, that they judge and label you based on appearance instead of what's on the inside. The monster knows because of this he will never fit in and have no real friends. Nowadays, this problem is still happening. People look at someone and automatically label them as weird or a geek if they're wearing a different style shirt than everyone else. But they don't know if that person has the same interests as them or how sweet they can be, because once they're labeled, no one will have anything to do with them.
Now, from that moment, I declared everlasting war against the species, and more than all, against him who had formed me and sent me forth to this insupportable misery. In this moment, the monster has given in to his rage and self-hatred. He has decided to take revenge on Frankenstein for creating him and dooming him to a life of loneliness and self-hatred, because he feels he cannot be loved for the way he looks. The monster feels miserable and finds no other meaning in life besides that of revenge. And once he gets revenge, the monster thinks he can finally have some satisfaction for all the misery and alienation he has had to endure. What I ask of you is reasonable and moderate. I demand a creature of another sex, but as hideous as myself. The gratification is small, but it is all that I can receive, and it shall content me. Here the monster is demanding Frankenstein to create a spouse for him. The creature has had enough with feeling alone and unwanted. He is giving Frankenstein what he thinks is a reasonable demand and feels he deserves a woman to have by his side, so he is no longer alone. The rejection he received has left him broken and pleading to his creator, whom he hates but knows is the only one who can help him. What the creature wants is very much understandable, since it is proven that people need love and care to live properly. People are not meant to live alone without any outside contact. Eric David Harris and Dylan Bennett Klebold, better known as the Columbine High School shooters, are very similar to the monster in Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. These boys were known to have been bullied and alienated by the entire school. Harris once wrote in a journal entry, "I hate you people for leaving me out of so many fun things, but no, don't let the weird-looking Eric kid come along." And Klebold said, "You've been giving us beep for years." These boys were the subject of ridicule and rejection. Fellow students have told stories of times when the boys were harassed and made fools of. They once had ketchup squirted on them and had to continue the school day wearing that. These two boys went through complete torture at school where they were either alienated or taken advantage of, and much like the monster, they had had enough. So they did what the monster did and retaliated. They took the negative situation they were in and made it worse by going into school one day with guns and killing 11 people, including a teacher. Much like the monster, they believed if they made others feel as bad as they felt for so long, it would make things better, even if it meant killing people. Lizzie Velasquez is an American woman who suffers from a very rare medical disorder which causes her to be unable to gain weight. She was born weighing merely 2 pounds 11 ounces. Lizzie's condition is so rare, only 2 other people in the world are known to have it. Her disorder is the cause of her physical appearance, which includes a pointed nose and already aged skin. Lizzie's looks are the first thing people see when they meet her, and walking around in high school was definitely not easy for her. She was constantly made fun of in school and did not have many friends. People would call her names such as skinny bones and chicken legs, amongst many other. There was even a video about her on YouTube naming her the ugliest woman alive. Much like Lizzie, the monster endured the same kind of alienation and rejection based on looks. They were rejected because of society's intolerance towards those who are different. However, Lizzie decided to turn her situation into a positive. Instead of retaliating like the monster did, she became a motivational speaker and tries to teach people about the real meaning of beauty and acceptance.
This video is about a girl who has been labeled as the ugliest girl in the world because of her condition that she was born with, just like the monster. Lizzie has battled all types of bullying and life-changing decisions along the way. Her case, and the fact that she is still here, proves that you can make the best out of any situation and that you do not always have to go down the bad path to overcome the bad that has happened to you. But it is up to you and no one but you to make the choice of which path you go down.